Welcome to More Than a Design, episode 9. Got a very special guest with us today, Andy Martinez from the Heights. Andy does a really, really special, as y'all can see here, he takes Air Force Ones and he turns them into very unique cowboy boots. Andy, welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. That was a great intro. Great Drink Champs type of intro.
Yeah, we just need more people clapping and shit. But thank you, Vic, for the light clap. Yeah, Andy, how's your day going? Thank you for joining us, man. Honor.
Thanks for having me, man. For sure. My day?
Yeah.
It's been chill. Honestly, it's just been preparing for myself to come over here. I actually made these before coming over here because I didn't want to have like a beat up pair that I usually wear.
You got to put a fresh pair. What do you call these? Just is there a particular name for?
So right now I'm gonna selfishly just call them the Andy boot because I kind of see it more as like a self-portrait approach to design, quote unquote.
I like the Andy boot actually.
I mean, they have like the Justin boot. They have the Tony Lama. I almost feel like they have, and I also like throughout the interview, I'll like explain that I also see sneakers kind of like a personality kind of like trait. Like this is something such and such would wear. This is something that Andy would wear. So by default, the Andy boot.
Nice.
This is something I would totally wear, obviously.
I love him, man. Shout out to Justin Club Bum. He's been on the episode plenty of times.
Shout out Club Bum.
He gave me the alley-oop for this interview, and the minute he showed me your Instagram, I was like, bro, call him right now. I need a pair of these boots, and I need to have him on the show. But I love him, man. So they flare, they pop. There's nothing like them out in the streets. A lot of companies, I'm sure they're trying. I seen Uggs. Yeah. Crocs. I seen that they tried, but it isn't the same.
Yeah, the Crocs are kind of. I mean, you're from Uptown, very Fordham Road-esque, just like a very rainbow kind of materials. Like
it's awarded.
Nice
now.
Try.
Yeah, it's awarded now. Nice try, Crocs. I haven't seen anybody in those, but man, what prompted you to kind of start creating the Andy boots actually too?
Well, I've had a long run of just customizing sneakers like since high school. Like I started off painting them, selling them to friends or doing interesting trades, if you will. Like, all right, I'll customize these sneakers for you and I'll get some Aqua 8s from you. You know what I mean?
It's a nice trade.
Yeah. So I started off in high school, and I picked it up again a little bit after college, where all my sneakers were falling apart. Mm-hmm. So if you kind of see like the timeline, that's like 2005 to 2008. So a lot of like the shoes that I was buying around that time they were already at least like 10 years old. I was getting a lot of like the old vintage 1995 blah 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 Jordans or some old Nikes, so they were all falling apart. Now you have this whole entire collection that you kind of like invested all your college checks on and stuff, and all your summer youth programs, like money and whatever. Now they need a new story. So what I was doing was, and I'm not saying like I was like the first one to do any of these kind of things, but there was like a weird little movement online where I was seeing just like soul swaps. And I'm like, this is much more interesting than just like painting a new colorway on your Air Forces or like your Dunks. You know what? I got some 14s. I got some Hirachis, some the ginger. No, not the gingers. The Cherrywood 16 strap. So that's the only way that all of these things can like stay together, because like my knowledge of like gluing wasn't like up to par yet. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just plop all these up together, put the 16 strap on top of them, and then boom. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. Took a picture of it, didn't really think much of it, but I got more response from that than like any of like the stuff that I was posting prior. I'm like, man, I should stop posting so many damn selfies. And then boom, like that's where it
especially in the early 2000s when like social media was just starting to like build momentum.
Yeah.
You didn't really see customs at all. And if you did see them, it was like, where the F did you get them? Or people 9 out of 10 times, they would think like, oh, these are fake. Like, yeah.
And
did that happen to you a few times?
So funny enough, when I first started customizing sneakers, I did a pair of like, I think they were like, I bought them in Atmos actually, but there were some Air Max 90s, and you know, you're just bored in the crib, and you just like, I just started cutting up a pair of sneakers that my brother left around, and I plopped them together, and this is again like 2006, so at that moment, you know, wearing fake anything was. I wish I would have been a little bit more bolder because like I would have been at least like a little bit more of an OG around that in this space of like work. But yeah, that was definitely something that I was worried about. But now I could give two shits. Like,
yeah, because now fast forward, man, fakes are everywhere, man, and at this time now it's like.
And you'll be surprised how many fakes there are.
Oh, people are making a business of that.
In those actual spaces, like you might be inspired by someone that's wearing fake clothes.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing with counterfeiting now, and I don't think people care really. Especially me at this age of my 30s. It's like, not saying I'm buying fakes, but just like I'm not gonna be like eyeing you out in your like your sneakers or your clothes. It's like, bro or sis, wear what you want to wear as long as you're feeling comfortable.
As long as you're feeling good.
Yeah. So tell me, where are you originally from out here?
Washington Heights.
The Heights. Yeah. Shout out to the Heights. Tell me how growing up there, has there been much influence into a lot of your art or how you designed the Andy boots?
I would say so, yes. I wouldn't know how to like further my answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100%. Yeah, like Washington Heights.
Tell me about the tell me about the Heights growing up, and just I'm me from uptown. Everywhere outside of like Gun Hill and being uptown feels real foreign for me. Even though I've had encounters.
There's just all like different, just like. I guess like you would consider them counties. Like Gun Hill is a county.
Yeah.
Tremont County. Districts. Is it district? Yeah.
Districts or counties or like in Connecticut, they call them towns.
Okay. Yeah. Like towns. Yes. So, my experience just even in school in general, because if you think about it, like your school basically is based on the district that you live in, so you don't really have to travel too much.
Yeah.
But throughout my life in New York, I've always had to travel away. Like my mom never wanted me to go to school a little too close to home because like
get caught up.
You get caught up.
Yeah.
You get caught up with like, and by default, if you're living in the same area that you're going to school at, you're bound to cut school every single day, which is honestly like a lot of like our peers, like hooky parties.
Yeah.
I went to school in the Upper West Side. I went to PS 75, which is a 20-minute train ride on the one. I went to Dual Language Middle School, which was another school right by Central Park. And then Art and Design is all the way in 57th and 2nd.
Yeah.
So,
after Art and Design, was there thought of going to college or going to like a design school or?
By default, like all my siblings all went to college.
Yeah.
And all graduated. So not saying that was like a pressure thing, but it was more of like an expectation. That might have been, I might have said the same thing 2 times, right?
No, like it was an expectation from your family, from your siblings.
At least like maybe like the tone was already established.
Mm-hmm.
even before I could.
Oh,
even
like
think
you going,
of.
Andy? You going to college?
It's like,
right?
all right, cool. So what college you're thinking about going to? And you know, at that age, you're like, damn, like this determines like the rest of my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like
They want you to know the major and everything.
exactly. Yeah. It's just like yeah, it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto. It's just a Grand Theft Auto 4 where you can finally like the storyline kind of changes if you press yes or
Yeah,
no over here.
yes and no. So
know
you
what I
press
mean?
no, obviously.
For
Did you
college?
press no or did you press yes?
Well, I pressed yes.
Oh, okay. What college you went to?
I went to Pratt
Oh, okay. Nice.
Institute. So
Nice.
that's like that was like the first time, like, you know, like the stoop kid in Hey Arnold.
Yeah. Stoop
That was like when
afraid
Stoop
to
Kid
leave
finally left the
stoop.
stoop,
Yeah.
and then went to another stoop,
Classic
which is
episode.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So I lived out here in Brooklyn for about 5 years.
What you majoring?
I went in originally for cartooning and animation, and after a few bad critiques, I'm like, man, I cannot take this type of art school. Like in art and design, like, you know, you scribble and draw some shit like, oh, cool, yay, like your shit gets celebrated. But you go to like a real art based like college, it was just so intense. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna drop out or take some time off because it's gonna take me a lot longer to
Catch back up or graduate.
So I was like, yo, what's the next best thing? I'm like, you know what? Let me fuck around with the cameras a little bit. So I switched to film, and yeah, graduated with a film degree.
Nice. Looking back at that experience now, especially where you're at in your life and what we now know about how we as people can educate ourselves, especially like self-taught, that shit sounds kind of fucked up. Like someone critiquing art, especially when it's all like real subjective.
Yeah.
That shit sounds crazy.
No, it's super crazy, but
Or was it just that professor, or do you feel like that was just like the culture in general?
I think it was the culture in general. Because at the end of the day, like art school is more about the traditional aspect of it. You know what I mean? This is how you traditionally draw a figure, 1 point perspective, 2 point, 3 point, the whole nine. And even when I went into film, it's like, all right, this is how you traditionally, take photos.
Yeah.
Anything else that you do, that would be like more on your artistic eye. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. That's always something that I think is interesting especially when I'm speaking with like Justin, who's always, thinking about next steps and trying to get art in these galleries. And I'm like, F that, build a gallery. Like, right? Honestly. Because you're having one person really just dictate like if your art is good enough. And really I don't even think they're thinking that. I think they're thinking as far as gallery owners, it's like, can I sell your art? Mm-hmm. So
I mean, you'll be like definitely creating your own lane.
Yeah.
And half of these galleries, like, they take so much of a percentage.
50%?
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, 50%.
Yeah. So it's like, it's either you go that route or, you could just like take the whole percentage to yourself.
To yourself, yeah. And just do all the heavy lifting and build the clientele.
Yeah.
So
the foundation.
You graduate from Pratt now. You have a degree in film, photography, right? Or was it just
video?
Film? Video, yeah. So was there an idea there that you're going to stop doing your art, or did you just kind of like graduate just to kind of let everybody know, like, I graduated now?
A little bit of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, my freaking diploma is in a box right now. Like, it's like, all right, cool. Like, I did this, and now, you have to pay this back every month or something. But, wait, what was your question again?
I was saying, like, once now you graduated, was there, now that you kind of graduated now, was there a pursuit to follow a career in what you graduated in, or was you going back to just going back to your true passion, which was art?
So
initially when you graduated.
So when I graduated, I was the cool thing about me doing film was that I started connecting with a lot of my friends from high school.
Yeah.
And just like social media, you're just like, all right, cool. Like, you're making music. Let me shoot some of your music videos. So I was shooting a lot of like my colleagues from Art and Designs, like music videos, and that led me to work with this DJ from the UK who was doing a bunch of beats for all these underground like old rappers. I'm talking about Master Ace, Artifacts, and like just like the old New York, like,
Yeah.
And that kind of opened up my eye. I'm like, damn, like the UK has a crazier hip hop fan base than like the city.
Yeah.
Because like we're not listening to these guys at all. But you know, like, so I was shooting music videos for him for a while, and yeah, after a while, like, there was something about it. I'm like, man, like this is gonna be a interesting few years, just like doing this and then shooting weddings. And just all the stuff I wasn't really interested in. I was just more on the aspect of I need to get paid.
Yeah, and let me try
something,
it to try it, right?
You know what I mean? So yeah, by default, like I wasn't really drawing or doing any of like my art like that.
So how did you get into the Andy shoe?
So it was in between that transition, if you will. There was like a few times where it was just like really slow with work, and you know, I just had to figure something out.
Yeah.
And honestly, it just came to me because like I've always been, like I was telling you before, like I've been always deep into like the whole customization, you know, expression of art, if you will. And like, I think I actually like answered that earlier, but when I posted that one photo, I was like, yo, if you guys think this is hot, I got some more heat. So I have a shit ton of shoes that, you know, that all fell apart. I can literally just change the narrative of like a regular shoe that you see every single day. And yeah.
And was as far as with the Air Force One and the Cowboy boot combination, did you already have like a Cowboy boot at home? You already had an Air Force One, and then you're just like sitting there like, these shits will look hot together. Like, or were you still just like trying to see what sticks, just trying a bunch of other stuff? But yeah,
so
how
what
did that combination, the fusion?
The fusion. I mean, honestly, when I first even, let me rewind this whole thing, but I started off, I guess like me even doing any of these customizations was like, it's like me rebelling against going back to the grind that I was in, you know what I mean? And I was originally working in all these like photo, video studios, like Industria, Spring Studios, Milk, and I was just basically a high-end mover at this point.
Yeah.
But you see all these freaking like creatives, quote unquote, just like coming in all decked out and everything, and I'm like, shit, man, I can't stand out for nothing in this all black attire, just like all raggedy from like the basement. I'm like, you know, I got something for y'all. I was like playing around with what was it? I had some black Air Forces, and around that time, this is 2015, 2016, that was like the era of like the chunky sole, if you will. I found these Vibram spiked bottom soles that, you know, all you have to do is just sand down the sole, plop them together. That's a whole new shoe just by adding that one little layer. And yes, I rocked those to work, but just for myself.
Yeah.
It wasn't
People
the
call it
attention of like selling anything to anyone, like, and once I started doing things for myself, that's when I realized it's kind of like when you're in a group having dinner with your friends and you order one thing and everybody wants something from your plate, So I went in with that notion of like, hey, if I make something for myself, everybody else is going to want it.
Yeah.
So that's how I started.
Nice.
Honestly.
Nice.
I don't know if I'd be going through a crazy roller coaster, but hopefully that answered your question.
No, it did. It definitely did. I think that's super important where you have to design for yourself or create for yourself before you focus on trying to do it for others, because then it's kind of looking at it for like a money grab.
Yeah. So by default, like none of this stuff was ever a money grab. It was more of like me entertaining something that I want to see.
That you were passionate about too. And you wanted to kind of come in there and definitely know about Milk Studios. You definitely do be having some fly people in there.
Yeah.
Come in and just to be like, oh, like y'all gonna notice me now, which is pretty dope. So now you start creating for yourself. You create the Andy boot. How has life changed since then? Is it now you're getting a bunch of DMs and orders? Of course, I've been on your gram. I've seen that you've done like some press runs and
this year
editorial and stuff.
This year is wild because, I mean, like right before the year ended in 2022, I was like, you do all the new year, new me crap, or like, what do you want for the next year? I'm like, yo, honestly, I just want to push this even further and like, just break out of my comfort zone, speak more in front of the camera, which I'm doing right now, by the way. And, I put that out in the air, out in the open, so the guys could hear it. And this year has been nothing but press runs. It's just been press.
Manifestation.
Like you might have thought I opened up a cleaners at this point. But everything just happened so organically.
Yeah.
Whether it's going to an event and like meeting the writer for the New York Wall Street Journal, Hypebeast reaching out to me like through DMs, you reaching out to me like through Justin, like everything super organic. And yeah, I guess the sky's heard it.
Yeah. And all more blessings to you. I'm sure going into 2024 it's going to be even bigger. How are you now currently selling the Andy shoe? Is it all through commission? I didn't. You don't have a website out at the current moment, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna. I guess like for 2024, I'm gonna be focusing more on drops. But everything that I've been posting has just been made to order, and I keep it like really simple, where it's just an all black boot, an all white boot, a certain colorway like the Undefeateds with the brown. Upper,
those are dope.
So I just like anytime somebody reaches out to me, I'm like, yo, look through the menu, let me know what you want. And I've had a lot of people that a lot of people always talk about like trust issues, but like people trust me enough to send me money and deliver the product.
Yeah. And I think that's important, especially when you're trying to build some skin in the game in the industry too, where you're kind of going through it without the e-commerce, and it's just like kind of made to order. And
this is word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth. You're going to build that trust up, which is fire too. So I definitely need. We'll talk after. I definitely need.
I got you.
I'm like thinking about it now. I'm like, I was showing my girl last night. I was like, babes, look at these. I was like, I'm gonna F these up this summer. I'm gonna have the legs out, cowboy boots. I'm gonna give me a cowboy hat. Trust me.
And even like how you describe that's exact. I mean, minus the cowboy hat, but I usually rock them with shorts.
Yeah,
like that's like my cartoon fit.
Yeah,
like if you were to draw a character of me, like all right, shorts, boots, mullet.
That's you pretty much every day.
Basically.
That's fire.
Except for today, I got like leggings on.
Got the jeans on. I mean, it's freaking cold. I mean,
it's freezing.
If you could wear shorts all year round, I mean, that'll be pretty dope too, man. New York gotta change its weather. I'm sure you probably would if it was like low 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just literally on some Dexter's Lab shit. You open up the closet, just mad jean shorts, hoodies, white tee.
So has there, like, now you're prepping to kind of go into the new year with really doing more drops. How are you now putting your business hat on now and taking off the creative hat, or maybe wearing both of them at the same time? But do you feel like there's some challenges there as far as just like wearing that business hat? Because a lot of creatives, they focus on, like how you started, focusing solely on just the creativity and just creating for yourself. And now you're starting over the years, sprinkle in like doing for others and getting that trust and understand there's a exchange of money, of product. But like now you're bigger and better, of course, going into 2024. How are you putting that business hat on?
Putting that business hat on. I mean, honestly, you said it best. Like, you're a creative and a businessman. Like, it's definitely a two brim fitted type of situation. What was the question again? My bad.
just what do you think as far as just like the challenges or
the challenge,
the things that you're looking forward to? Yeah, wearing multiple hats.
Man, honestly, so I've been doing this for a few years now.
Yeah.
So, right now, it's just more about we're living in a very content based, like society.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of that where, let's say, for a drop, I'd have to like deliver it this way. It's all about the way you deliver it, and if anything, I'm putting the business and the creativity aside. Actually, no, you have to be work with the creativity for what I'm about to say, but delivering the same stuff to you. It's kind of like how
the consistency.
The consistency,
yeah.
Right? Like, all right, cool. I'm gonna continue throwing the same product to you guys, but how am I gonna show it to you guys differently? Mm-hmm. I think that's like the more like what I'm focusing more on.
Yeah, that content, that marketing.
Yeah, because like the content,
it drives everything.
Yeah, like, and I've been telling this to like a lot of people. They're like, yo, so what's next? Like, you can't be doing, like, you don't want to be called the boot guy forever. I'm like, no, I want to be called the boot guy.
Yeah, why not?
I'll typecast myself.
Why
like,
not?
This is working out very well for me.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of just delivering it differently.
Yeah.
Calvin Klein, at the end of the day, they're always want to they always want to sell you underwear. Mm-hmm. But they'll bring in like a creative, like Raph Simmons or like a Heron Preston to like gain interest of the brand. But it's like, let's take it back to the focal point. Let's put the Kardashians in the underwear and put it really big in Broadway Lafayette.
Yeah,
so I guess like the boot is my Calvin Klein underwear, if you will.
Yeah, you don't. I think for you, Andy, you don't have to necessarily be a master of many. Like, you're still very fresh into the sneaker game, and to master that and get the most out of it, you can go on a run for years to come. Like, trust me, it's not going to go anywhere. How hard is it to actually make the boot?
It was difficult at first, but now, it's kind of like clockwork. Like, I made these like right before coming over here.
Crazy. And and like, as far as just like in the beginning stages till now, like the construction wise, is there any, do they ever like fall apart? Like, never? No. Nice.
I've had throughout my entire journey of making shoes, I saw one person that their shoes but I warned them because it's a really hard-headed friend of mine, super hard-headed Taurus.
Shout out to the hard-headed friend.
But he he's like, yo, I want to, and this is like the part.
Did he try to play ball in him or something?
Nah, he just has a funny foot. But overall, prior to doing these, I was doing the Converses with an Air Force One bottom, hand stitched around. So
Nice.
that was like my first entry into like making like a mass produced, not even mass produced, but like made to order type of situation. So, you know, one thing I find funny is like people reach out to me like, nah, I want something from you, but it has to be special. I'm like, dude, they're already special. No one else is gonna have these. So he's like, yo, I want to do a Converse, a Bape Converse with a Bape bottom. So it's basically the Converse Bape, but with the Bape, instead of it saying Air on the side, it says Bape.
Nice.
Like a Bape version of it.
Yeah.
Now the thing about Bape is that they're not air. So they're called the Air Force One, because this right here, there's like an air unit. So by default, I take the air unit out and I stuffed the Converse in there, creating like a full new sole basically.
Nice.
So the Bapes have like this component in the inside that makes it hard for the shoe to sit. So I was just like trying to stitch around them. And I'm like, I don't think this is going to really work out, but like, you know, you could get your little photo prop on and
take
XYZ.
a few flicks. I don't know if it's going to last for a year or even a week.
He sent me a photo. He's like, bro, they broke. I'm like, I told you they were going to break. But
that's crazy.
That's the only time. But everything else, like, I haven't had.
And have you thought about what does scaling look like? I speak about this with Justin too as an artist because he, you know, shout out to Justin. He has his growth checks, and he hand does the rose acrylics, and he put them on every check.
Mm-hmm.
What? And I'm wishing this for you guys, where you guys have hundreds or thousands of orders. How does that look like, where you're kind of like just doing everything yourself? Like, does that come to a point? Have you ever thought about that, where it's like you're going, like you're premeditating, you're going to get thousands of orders next year, like premeditating it, and it's like, have you thought about like, shit, like, am I going to be able to do all this myself?
It's I can't go from here to there without taking each and every one of those steps.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's all about pacing yourself, bro.
Yeah.
I challenged myself this year to do a full size run. I mean, not the show, but you know, doing size 5 to like size 13, and that in itself was just like, that was a lot.
Yeah.
And especially like I hand sew these. That's like part of the story. So what a bigger scale would look like, I would have to get them prepped and have somebody like some interns like helping me and stuff. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But that's what makes these products special at the end of the day. Like, sure, you can like walk in with your Balenciaga XYZ, but like you got a handmade pair of boots with some floral checks on it. Like, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
a one of a kind. People are definitely going to be looking at you.
Yeah.
Can I ask where you source these boots from?
So right now it's just all. I'm gonna hit you with the Timmy Turner internet. Literally, I just search and search and search. Like these are from like Old West, a brand called Old West. There's Ariat, there's Dan Post, there's Tony Lama. Yeah, there's a number.
You need a wholesale deal with at least one of them too, so you can.
I mean, I'm glad that we even spoke about like next year, but next year I want to just start getting them made like with like my own design. So it could be a combination. I can like bring that narrative back into it where, let's say it would be like a white boot. This is like my favorite part of the boot, which is like the black trim.
I love
could
it.
take that, the stitching from like a Tony Lama, mix it all in together, and now, you know what I mean?
yesterday's price was not today's price.
Exactly.
That's what it will be,
And like I'll do like small drops. Like the last drop that I did was 10 boots. That was like, I was really nervous about that because I'm like, damn, I got to sell this shit to 10 people.
Yeah.
Just like took that one photo.
How hard was it?
Not hard.
Yeah, I was about to say, how hard was it? Because I didn't know about them shits. I would have been one of the 10.
So I had a in-store drop, which,
what store?
West NYC on 72nd
Oh,
Street.
yeah.
So
Good
one of my
guys.
shoes was actually going viral around that time. Like Sneaker Freaker, BR Kicks, Nice Kicks was like posting this one boot. And I got an order had a few orders actually from that like little circle.
Yeah.
And like it's crazy because like things just come in waves. Like the two people that reached out to me, they're two like Instagram comedian people. It's like this dude, John B. Christ. And then I forgot the other dude, Jay Mendoza. Like they just do skits. And I'm like, look at that. I was fishing and like I got these comedians, and then like this other girl reached out for the pair. So it's like this. I'm looking for 3 pairs. Go to West NYC because like I saw it on their website that they had a few. They didn't have them, but of course I'm wearing the boots.
Yeah.
So the manager of the store, he's like looking at them. He's like, oh, that's interesting. I saw the color of the month joints that you just asked. In that style, I'm like, yeah, I'm the guy.
It's me.
Yeah, it's me. And he's like, holy shit. Like, yo, you mind if I take a picture of them? The owner of the store, he's crazy about cowboy boots. I'm like, yeah, bang out. We're like talking for a bit. And I'm like, all right, bro. You guys don't have them. I got to go. I walked 2 stores down. There's this place called Tip Top. Tip Top Shoes is like one of like the oldest like shoe stores in the city.
Yeah.
You know what
this
I mean?
is on 72nd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I
right
know
there on the
exactly what you're
strip.
talking about. Yeah.
So I see a pair of black Dan Post boots. I'm like, I know for a fact them shits is going to be like freaking $300 something. I'm like, maybe they might have a sale wall or something. Like, how often do people buy cowboy boots?
Yeah. It's fucking New York.
But so I walked in and the owner of the store is there and he's like, yo, someone just sent me these. I was like, yeah, I was right next door. He's like, hey, how you doing? I'm Lester. I'm like, oh, nice to meet you, Lester. I'm Andy. He's like, yeah, these are my stores. Yo, we got to do something. Let's exchange contacts.
Nice.
So now we got the boots from Tip Top Shoes and the Air Force Ones from West. This is like the only time that could happen. I wouldn't be able to do that with any of the other like retail stores in the city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that gave me that little bit of a challenge of making like a full size run and delivering them and selling them.
Yeah.
You know? So like throughout that whole process, I'm like, I know I'm gonna sell a few, but yeah,
He wasn't expecting the
and it's not like one of those like posts where you just like, yo, boom, 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 boom. You get all the orders. It's just like a slow cooked meal. You know, it's just like boom, 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 boom.
Those are the best though.
By the time I'm like, yeah, I sold all of them. And now I have like 3 more orders from that same batch. Like, I'm like, all right, cool. Like it just like all worked out.
That's beautiful, man.
And throughout that process, again, with the press, I used that silhouette to do my content for Hypebeast. So I'm making the boot in Hypebeast. Now people are like, oh shit. Yo, you
got the Hypebeast feature now.
yeah, boom, that
We're
happened. Then the Wall Street Journal is writing about me. We're showing that same exact boot. So now the stuff that I'm preparing for, I'm getting press for it. So it just like everything just like happened so organically.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want it any other way.
Any other way, right?
You know?
And you're
Just like, you know, you're just like making yourself available, and these sources are just, these outlets are just finding you. And just
not only outlets, the people. It's the energy. You put out some really powerful energy out there, and the way how the boots are made too, made with love and your artistry and shit like that. So
honestly,
it's all comes full circle, man. That's dope. So next year, are you thinking about doing more, I guess, like pop-ups, or are you thinking about doing them more like in stores where you can kind of collab with the stores, or are you thinking about like, man, like let me go on a freaking just city tour? Because I'm sure there's someone in Atlanta, someone in Dallas, somewhere in DC that just like, Andy, come over here. We need the boots.
Hey, if it makes sense, I'll do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm definitely on the. If anything, my online store would be open.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
With that being said, like I can focus more on the drop. You know, I can do. I don't know if you got to see the 11s.
I did
with the low tops.
Yeah.
So
the black ones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are from 2001 or 2000. I don't.
Yeah, those look retro.
I mean, they're glued on, so I can't even see the date. But trust me, they're definitely one of those old ones. And you know, I realized that I dropped them in November, the 11s. It's the 11th month.
Yeah.
So I can maybe drop the 12s low top with the cowboy boot this month.
You got to get some country rappers or country artists wearing these shits, boy.
It would be dope, but I really just want New Yorkers.
New Yorkers, right?
Yeah. You know, because even, you know, I was thinking about this. I think about this a lot, but all these brands were celebrating the 50 years of hip hop.
Yeah. Kid,
you can Google right now who created the term hip hop. I mean, no, I'm asking you, could you?
Oh, could I? Yeah. Vic, who created it? We got Vic behind the scenes. I don't know. I mean, they always say hip hop was birthed in the Bronx.
It was birthed in the Bronx.
Then they said a Jamaican, DJ, started it. I don't know, to be honest. Who? Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
But it was, I don't remember which crew it was, but it was a guy by the name of Cowboy.
Oh, word?
Yeah. Which is brings it right back to New York.
Full circle. Yeah.
Full circle. No one highlighted Cowboy.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Cowboy. Okay. And what was he a rapper? Was he a DJ?
What was it? I think he was just part of the entourage.
Okay. But he was like, yo, no one knew what it was, and he was just like, this is hip hop.
Hip hop, he was, if I might be massacring the story.
Yeah.
But it had something to do with a friend of his who just came back from the war, and he was walking kind of funny. You know what I mean? And from that point on, they're just yo, and around that time they were DJing and everything, and the term is just yo, leave that hip hop shit alone. You're not gonna get far doing this hip hop shit.
Yeah.
And boom, 50 years later.
50 years, we here.
So shout out to Cowboy.
Shout out to Cowboy.
R.I.P. Cowboy.
We're gonna look him up. We'll probably make a shirt out of this and look him up. Shout out to Cowboy. Yeah, man. Who speaking about music in New York, who are you listening to now, music wise?
New?
Anybody? Shit.
I'm not listening.
We in our 30s. I'm sure we're not listening to anybody.
I'm not listening to hip hop at all, actually.
Okay.
Anymore. If anything, I mean, does the Mason Cameron podcast consider
hip hop?
Yeah.
My brother loves that podcast, but no.
That's
music.
That's my only connection to sport, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
We were talking about that when we were copping some wine. I was like, "Do you play any sports?" I just feel even if you don't play a sport,
and I have a
got the football jersey. It's even if you weren't good at it, you might have played ball,
I played some basketball.
Yeah, I'm sure you played a little ball or just shot around or whatever the case may be, even if you were good or not.
That was terrible.
Why don't you listen to hip hop? Or it doesn't have to be hip hop. It could be anybody.
I mean, if I do listen to hip hop, it would be some random shit that my algorithm on YouTube would put me onto.
So what do you listen to?
Right now, so I really got into Serge Gainsbourg, which is like this French dude.
Yeah.
His delivery and like his beats, like this, he's like from.
Well, he's not rapping.
No.
Beats like he's just making beats.
No. Like his delivery, like when he sings and like
sing. Oh, okay. Like, singing. Nice.
It sounds like hip hop to me, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's some French alternative music.
I gotta get it. I gotta get his.
So I listen to that. I listen to Duran Duran a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Cure. Just, if anything, like music for me now is more like just research.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like research of sounds, and you start listening to hip hop. I mean, I feel like I've listened to hip hop so much that I just can't anymore.
As a New Yorker, you're gonna be listening to it, but like
how many?
You can't avoid it.
Yeah, and like the subject matter kind of like doesn't entertain me anymore. It's just like you put everything together and you're just like, damn, bro, like I'm the listener. Why are you disrespecting me?
It's crazy. Like growing up too, when you get around your family, it feels like, and you play like hip hop around them, and you got like you're probably in your teenage years, you're playing hip hop, and your uncles, your mom, your brother, older brother, whatever, and they hear it, they like, yo, I don't like this new age hip hop, and you like, yo, this is what's hot.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
we get fast forward, it's like now we're like in our parents' shoes at that same age,
and now we have drill music,
and
I hate drill.
I hate drill music.
All this stuff just like
the subject matter sucks, man. You gotta listen to Larry June. That's one of my
Larry
favorite.
June is dope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Part of my left. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Larry June, that's my guy right there. I met him.
Rock Marciano, like that whole like.
Nice. Yeah.
I wouldn't want to call them lo-fi hip hop, but
it's just real player.
Yeah.
It's real chill. He talks about going to like the juice bar, going to IKEA. Talks about like like nothing about
relatable.
shooting them up. Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
That's super relatable.
I like when people throw in some financial literacy, and I think that's one reason why I like Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace. Like he was like really like a phenomenon because it's like he was still bringing you like West Coast sound, but still like giving you music to like believe in yourself and stuff like that.
You know what's wild? And this is a random thought, but like with the whole DJ Envy thing, with
him scamming, with Caesar,
Caesar, whatever his name is.
My little brother went to one of their seminars. Fucking, I was like, yo, this is a fucking scam.
Imagine if like Nipsey was like still alive, and like something like that would have happened to him.
Where he was investing with them or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? But like I feel like even like that thought process of, hip hop being into real estate, besides like Master P, like back in the day, and like I think 2 Chainz is like big on real estate.
Yeah.
But I feel like Nipsey brought that light.
Talking about assets.
Yeah. I feel like that motivated DJ Envy to be like, all right, let me
get what what's so crazy, and I have a few properties, and honestly that all really transpired from like listening to Nipsey. Nipsey's my favorite rapper. I went to see Nipsey live in 2015, 2014, and like he's been my favorite artist still to this day. And then Dom, I feel like Larry June, the torch got passed along without it really like being passed along. It was like now Larry June is like talking financial literacy, and I think you need that. The older you get,
sure.
you need somebody talking that.
Honestly, school kind of didn't teach, at least me, I'm not going to say like all of us, that, but the fact that you can like listen to a song and like follow an artist.
Yeah.
And get that knowledge, that's some revolutionary shit right
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and one key thing that I wanted to ask you about too, because it's as a New Yorker, you're so on point with this like look, your hair. Mm-hmm. Tell me about the mullet. Like that. This is something that I wanted to grow a fucking rat tail when I was at Apple, and
I think you could pull that off.
I wanted and have you ever watched what movie was this?
Can I Play?
No, not Kid and Play. What's the movie where it's like Knocked Up or something, and the guy's growing a beard, and his friends are like making fun of him? I feel like it's like I forgot the movie, but anyway, I was growing this rat tail, and everybody at the Apple store kept fucking with me. They was like, Anakin, like, you know, they They was like, yo, who the fuck does this guy think he is, a black guy with a rat tail? But like, they kept cutting my ass so much that I was like, I'm not growing this fucking rat tail. And it's like, I should have.
Yeah.
And because I was only like 19 at the time, but it was just like, yeah, like I seen your mullet, and I'm like, that's fucking badass. Like, tell me about that. That's like your signature.
What's crazy is I just got a haircut, and like, this is like the first time that I'm rocking the mullet with like a really short hairdo on the top. But like, my shit is like freaking hang time. But I feel like just me being exposed to art school my entire life, like, what's that basketball player with the piercings, and he had like the
Dennis Rodman.
No. Recently with the long hair,
Piercings.
he had like the perm. He had like the basketball dude. And he like walked into one of his press conferences, and like everyone was like kind of like giggling. He's like, ha, ha.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, he's like, haha, laugh it up.
Yeah. He was like on his emo. But he does that. Hold on, I know you don't watch basketball, but Jimmy Butler does that every season. He comes in the season as like a new character.
I followed up with him, but like I identify with that moment back in high school, like just trying out like a new hairstyle and like walking in late and like
all eyes on like, you.
You know, so I feel like once you break out of that, like even me presenting myself with like these boots right now, and like just overall, like I've been doing this like since I was like really young, and I don't even see it as like anything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, all right, cool. Like today I'm gonna throw on the tightest pants I can find and a big ass.
I feel like that's what New York's about, and that's why I love New York, because if you were anywhere else, you would be an eyesore to many. But like in New York, you just kind of like.
I mean, you'll be surprised in New York. I mean, even on my way over here, there was so many fucking cameras. Just like I walked into the 2 train, and it's low key kind of like a fashion runway. I just like walked in, do the little walk to like the nearest door. I usually just stand by the door. Boom. Right then and there, I just like look to the side, and there's like a few eyes on me. The dude that's like sitting by the pole, he's like, "You mind if I take a picture of you?" I'm like, "Go for it." You know, so it's you just add that to your you know?
Yeah.
And like the more, if anything, this shell that I've like created for myself gives me a reason to talk to people more about like my work.
Yeah.
You know, it's a conversation starter, I guess. And yeah,
it's a good icebreaker. It's dope too, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like you being yourself, and you're yourself whatever room you're in.
Exactly.
And I think that's the most important thing. I had a problem with that growing up.
I
think a lot of people do.
I still have that problem to like this day, but you know, if anything, this is just me just doing that push every single time. Every time I walk out the doors, it's not a walkout; it's a push out.
Yeah, life is short. Like fuck it, you know. That's how I look at it. How does your family now look at like your recent success with, you know, the Andy boots? And
they're
stuff?
looking finally. They're finally looking. Yes. Overall, like, you know, and even like with like my sister's like friends, and they're like, "Oh, but how's Andy doing?" Like I live out here in the city by myself, and like all my family like live outside of the state. But she's like, "Nah, you'll be surprised. Andy's doing pretty good. He's good." But it took a while for them to, you know, not accept it, but like, you know what I mean? When you gather around and we have to like take that family photo, like, just like, yeah, he's with us.
Yeah. Where are you considered, or were you considered like the black sheep of the family, or did you think that?
You know, perception wise, as an artist, you're automatically going to have this disconnect with like family and, you know, just people in your neighborhood and stuff. But I think I always thought I was a black sheep because I'm the youngest of four, and like I'm doing things so untraditionally compared to like everyone else at home. And now that I can retrospect, I don't know if that's the right word, but now as a 33-year-old looking back, I've been playing the same rule this entire time, and it's gotten me here. And I don't think I've ever been a black sheep. It was just more of like me looking at the lens through their, like me thinking for them. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, like sometimes things are not as bad as you think they are.
Yeah.
And you're just creating these scenarios and these monsters in your head, and before you know it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that pressure, that added pressure that you kind of put on yourself.
Yeah, most of it was just pressure that was never there to begin with.
And you didn't even need it. It wasn't like no one was really forcing it, but it's like, hey, Andy, this is what your other 3 siblings are doing. This is what we want for you, but just do it go be you. And I think that's something that I think for this generation of like parents, especially us creatives, is like my daughter's like, I want to be an actress. It's like, all right, cool. Like, how could we like get started? You know, like even if she doesn't make it, which maybe you will, it's like, I want to install that confidence at you at an early age that you can do whatever you want to do. You can dress how you want to dress. She was dressing like Spider-Girl, like at 3 years old. Like she just wanted to go outside. Like, and I'm like, who am I to tell you no? Like, you want to wear that today? Like, wear it. You know, you're not embarrassing me, but like, it's just like, I feel like for us creatives, you gotta, like, parents prior or even current, like, just don't know how to kind of give that motivation and also let them spread their wings, you know? So that's dope that you're able to do it now. And once, all the millions come in, soon when that family photos come for you, it's going to be like, Andy, when can I get the boots?
This is that'll be the theme of the photo shoot.
Yeah. We'll all be wearing Andy's boots.
Hopefully.
So Andy, you shared a little bit about like next year, or you actually spoke about like what you premeditated this year. What are some things, like just wrapping up, like that you're premeditating for next year besides like the drops that you already spoke about?
Honestly, man, I want to reconnect with who I was my freshman and sophomore year, and like, bringing that kind of outlet of drawing and maybe some film work, like, again, like making this stuff like more fun for myself to push the content. Like, the content can come from maybe like a short film idea now featuring being like the boot not being the focal point, but the boot being like just in the background. Like there's a story happening, but like one of the characters is rocking them.
Yeah.
Or maybe like some merch kind of ideas.
Of course.
I have a dress shoe that I've been like just like little by little, just like throwing it in photos, but like with no context. But I'm working on a shoe like brandless, no brand involved. It's just kind of like a conceptual project for myself.
Nice.
So that'll be a made to order situation.
And that goes back to like the essence of like how you started this boot for yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And then from there, and that's a great way to market without even having to do a lot of content or like put up money. It's like you're the walking marketing. You're like a mannequin.
Yeah.
It's like, if people fuck with it, it's like, okay, like
I kind of prefer people not to fuck with it, because that's when the creative juices is just like, all right, like keep doubting it. I'm gonna remember that 3-4 years later. Now,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So hopefully nobody likes them.
Yeah. And it adds more juice. That happened to me the other day where, a buddy of mine's, he helped with the interview with Jude with Butterfly. Their episode comes out, but I was just like, yo, bro, here's a few more people that I want to do some interviews with. And he said that they respectfully declined. And I wrote him back. I was like, that's motivation right there. Like, I was like, I like that. And I'm going to come back to him 2 years later from now and see where we're at and be like, all right, now you're going to want to fucking interview soon, you know? So
you can't respectfully like that.
Respectfully decline. I was like,
God,
bro, and I'm looking at your page, Instagram page. I won't say the brand's name, but it's just like, you guys got like 5,000 followers. Like, let's not act like you guys are like a Louis Vuitton or something where you guys don't have time. It's like, bro, like, but it was like, it's cool, you know? We need more proof in to put in. And I like that. Like you said, like, I'll remember that and keep working. You know?
Honestly. Use that for fuel. And at the end of the day, like, you know, we need more platforms like this.
Yeah.
We need more content of the creators speaking, you know, because after a while you start listening to them and you're like, why have I been buying, like, this dude's a fucking jerk? You know what I mean? And I almost like said who I was thinking about. But, you know,
or the complete opposite. It's like, why haven't I bought from him or her yet?
It's just like, wow, he's actually, and hopefully that's what people think of me. Not what I said, but it's like, damn, like, he's actually more down to earth than what I expected.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure this episode is going to go viral. I mean, there's a lot of good talking points.
I've been able to answer.
Yo, like, bro, you've been an amazing guest. I mean, I always like to think that everybody come here like after, like, bro, you're my buddy. Or when we do have some female guests, you're my buddy too. My girl won't really let me have female friends, but bro, it's been an honor. Any last words? Any little motivation for anybody? Where can they find you too?
I'm
like Instagram wise, like
I'm on Instagram 24/7. There's no time limit on my phone as to like how long I can be on it. So
what's your at?
My at is 0831 a.m. Like the time, 8:31 in the morning.
Nice. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder why you had that too. I was going to ask you about that. Cool. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to episode 9 with Andy. Please share, comment, like, subscribe, and we appreciate you. And stay tuned for more. Peace.